Yes, go ahead.
Okay, assalamu alaikum everybody. And first of all, I want just to thank Omar Kalair and the organizer of UFANA for inviting me to this very important and august meeting. My name is Alberto Brugnoni, and I'm running ASSAIF. ASSAIF is most probably the oldest Islamic finance consultancy based in continental Europe. And myself, I've been involved with Islamic finance since the late 80s, since 86, 87. At that time, I was head of Italian desk for Merrill Lynch, based in Switzerland. And we actually, I did actually transacted the first murabaha ever done on the LME. And also, at that time, we published the first teaser with the logo of Merrill Lynch written in Arabic, very, very simple things, but still it was the very beginning. Now, why I'm here? I just met Omar a few months ago. We keep meeting everywhere in the world, actually. But we met, I think, last time in London, and he just mentioned me. He mentioned the UFANA meeting in Toronto, and he told me, why don't you come up and share some of your experience with the audience about on what happened in another G7 country, and this is the reason why I'm here. Please bear with me for the next 5 to 6 minutes. I will go and give you a general presentation, starting to proposing to you what is the general framework of Islam and Islamic finance in Italy. Then I will give you some details on our strategy, the strategy that we follow in Italy. Then how we implemented the strategy, some products, and then some hurdles that we are still facing. I'm myself a banker, but I will give you a much wider presentation because Islamic finance in Italy, when we started, was a totally unknown topic. So we had to go to stretch the boundaries of our knowledge and relationships and to have a more holistic and more global approach. Let me start by saying that Islam has a long history in Italy. 1,000 years ago, in the year 1000, the center of the Islamic world was the Mediterranean with the Fatimid Empire. And the center of this Fatimid Empire was Sicily, with Palermo. And at that time, this was the richest place in the world. Suffice to say that Palermo was the only place outside the Gulf that was called, in the old manuscripts, Medina. Usually, when you hear the word Medina, it refers to Medina Mudawara in today's Saudi Arabia. And the only other city that was named as Medina was Palermo because of its 300 mosques and endless trade. The gold dinar struck in Palermo was legal tender through all Mediterranean countries, up to France and down to today's Senegal. So we had a long experience with Islam. Came the Reconquista in Spain, and the invasion of Sicily by the French, and Muslims were given two choices: either to convert to Christianity or to flee. A lot of them converted, others fled the country. Since then, Islam was eradicated, and it came back actually about 40 years ago, in 1970, with the first immigrants coming to Italy. Most of them were from Morocco. Later on, were joined by North African, Tunisian, Syrian, Egyptians. Nowadays, the largest community is the Albanian community. Then we do have Moroccan, Tunisian, Egyptians, a lot of Indian, Pakistanis. This is actually the general historical framework. In terms of numbers, nowadays we have perhaps 1,600 legal Muslim residents, and perhaps 200 to 300, I hate to use this word, illegal, non-official residents. As you know, there are a lot of people that are just crossing, from Libya and then come to Sicily and then to the mainland. So the total community, I would say, numbers about 1,700,000 Muslims. The total migrant community in Italy nowadays is about 4.5 million. And it stands about to, I would say, not even 3% of the total population. So it's a tiny percentage compared to other European countries, but it's also lower than the same percentage we had 1,000 years ago, just to put things into the right historical perspective. This community, the Muslim community, the migrant community has been recognized as such just in 1992 with the first of the four laws that dealt with migrants. And since then, a lot of legal and regulatory development has taken place. Is a country of contradiction. Just let me share one thing with you. In spite of being the second religion in Italy, Islam is not recognized as such. On one side. On the other side, in Rome, we do have the most beautiful, as we know, mosque in Western countries. A mosque whose minaret is even higher than the Vatican, which has sometimes caused some problem with people sitting on the other side of the river. So this was the general situation. When we started and with our ASSAIF things, we had a look around us, and we do a sort of a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and is a tool used very often in building and creating projects in project finance. So we went through our, so to speak, not really logically, but I would say emotionally SWOT analysis to see where we stand with our project of bringing Islamic finance to Italy. And let me walk you through our SWOT analysis very quickly. In terms of strengths, we found two major drives in Italy coming from the two opposite sides of society. One was the Vatican and church as such. Vatican is has been for the last 300 years, a staunch supporter of social equality, of human dignity, of giving everybody a fair chance in life. And as you know, all popes write what we call in technical terms an encyclica, and all of them actually, even the last one, wrote encyclicas on the importance of giving to each and every human being a decent chance in life. The clergy as well. Perhaps you know that just a few months ago, the Osservatore Romano, which is the Daily Vatican, widely read everywhere in the world, every day is a very strong intellectual exercise. Just a few months ago, he published on the first page an article strongly supporting Islamic finance, calling Islamic finance Islamic finance. And even in the encyclica, the Pope, a few weeks ago, wrote about, I'm just starting. He wrote on his encyclica, he wrote a few very kind words about Islamic finance. On the other side of society, the other supporter we found was were the trade unions. As you know, maybe you know that Italy had the strongest, until 10 years ago, the strongest Communist party in the world after the USSR. And the two forces combined created a very enticing, very lively environment where all sorts of mutual banks, mutual insurance, cooperative banks sprang up around the country. And all those things, all this environment is very conducive to and shares actually a lot of the goals and psychological framework of Islamic banking. Weaknesses. there were just one weakness, was that Islam came just a few years ago, a few decades ago in Italy, so the Italian population was totally unaware of what Islam was, and you had to build up a case, from the very scratch.